now we're at a level where the content we put out, I just fucking spat everywhere. The content that we put out is reaching people and affecting people. So I want every week or every episode to send a message, to tell a story. Welcome to a special birthday edition of Zbodcast. It's only fitting that on him's birthday, on my birthday, we're in the studio, but we're in the studio alone. And I like these self episodes once in a while because it really gives the world a chance to see deeper inside of me. You know, there's a lot of facades and personalities that people know me as or think they know me as. And episodes like this really allow me to show the world and all these podcast viewers a different side of me. So my lovely producers have called on some very special hosts to ask me some very good questions, and I will answer them with full transparency, as I always do.
What's changed from episode 1 to now?
Everything. Look where we're in a beautiful studio. I mean, the following has grown immensely. We're working the socials very, very well. And you always can tell the success of something you're doing by what the people tell you. And the people, whether locally in Toronto or the outer greater GTA, Mississauga or Peel region or the North End or the East End, the people tell you, about the success of what you're doing. So what's changed is the reach that we have. From episode 1. I mean, the aesthetics have changed. We're getting big sponsors. We're getting bigger studios and better guests. And no longer am I reaching to get, guests. But guests are reaching out to us because we have the platform, we have the reach, we have the setup. And more than anything, become a great host. And I say that with full arrogance. I've become a great host. And I know how to get the people, the stories that they want to hear. That mostly with my guests, I don't want them to tell me, I don't get a baka on here to tell me about the music industry. I want them to tell me the deeper stories, who he is as a person, where he came from, the guy that created a baka. Or you get an athlete on. Don't tell me about, how many points you score. Tell me about the man behind the athlete. So I'm all about getting the real. And on Zbodcast, I've done I think a very good job of that, and that's how we continue to grow and get guests that are out of this world and tell us the true story. And what's really changed the most is the art of the podcast and how we kind of deliver this message to the world. And it's only been a year. Like my first episode, I think, was in February or March, so it's only been a year date-wise. We've done a lot of episodes, a lot of great things. But look in a year how far we've gone, how much we've grown. So I'm grateful and I'm blessed for that. Obviously, things have changed. Like, maybe less tequila on the pod, so we don't blast out half an hour in. Maybe no shisha in the studio. We got to fix that. We got to get that fixed up. But things are going up, and podcasting is the future. So I'm very excited for what's to come.
How have you changed since gaining celebrity status?
I mean, I was at an anniversary dinner with my parents yesterday. 6 different people came up to me and just said hi and bought me a drink and sent a shot. And by no means am I arrogant, even though I am arrogant. I know that. But kind of local celebrity status is what I would call myself, where a lot of people, not to be rude, but a lot of people come up to me and tell me that I've affected them in certain ways. The podcast, this episode did a lot for me. But like I said in my first response, how the people react to you and who you are as a person and what you're doing. And I get a lot of these people that come up to me because they watch the podcast and they know me through this, that, and the other. And they say, man, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change nothing. Don't change who you are. And I give the real to the world knows me through social media, but I give the real. So it's the real Chris Safi. It's the real man behind the lens. So a lot of people tell me that, I inspire them, and the story that I told or my guest or whatever told, it really inspired them to do this, do that. It got them out of a dark day. I love your Instagram. I love your podcast. So I don't care about the celebrity status for for the clout. I just care that I'm actually positively affecting the world, and I'm making the world a better place. And if that makes me a celebrity, locally, internationally, whatever, we all know I'm gonna be one anyway. But if I'm not already, but it's the reach and the ability to do good for the world that I'm more than anything most proud of. So yeah, let's be celebrities and let's change the world. Why not?
Does it ever bother you that people want to always stop and talk to you and pick your brain?
Listen, like if I'm with my if I guess I was with my parents, like I mean, no, people don't know that the X amount of people came up and already said hi and wanted to do this with me and that with me. I think it's situational. Sometimes maybe I'm not in a good mood. Maybe keep it moving, walk and talk. And I'm very real with a lot of people. So when I see people inevitably in the street or this and that, sometimes I'm like, yo, I'd love to talk to you, but I gotta go, right? And I don't want people to think I'm rude because I'm not. But sometimes you gotta read the room. I love a good person that can read the room. It's very important to me that you can read the room. So if I'm chilling, if I'm lounging, if I'm in Yorkville having an espresso or whatever, come sit, talk, whatever, no problem. You want to pick my brain, want to talk about whatever. But sometimes I'm in a rush and you want to stop and talk and like I'll do like the one leave, like I'll do like the dap up, like I'll give you the first dap up and I'll start and you pull me back for more, and it's tough. It's tough. You got to read the room, right? Like it doesn't bother me, and I know everyone has good intentions and stuff, but sometimes like I gotta go. I gotta go. So please, if you love me, read the room. If I'm in a good mood and I'm vibing, let's chat it up. Buy me a drink. Let's go. But if I'm busy, if I'm running, if I'm rushing, if I'm late, just get the fuck out of my way. Fair? Fair.
Where do you see the world going today, and is it making you happy?
Like, the world's big. The world's big. So there's enough room for everybody in this world. Now, a lot has changed in this world in the last 10, 20 years, where a lot of things that I don't think should be accepted are now being accepted. And a guy like me who wears his heart on his sleeve and who is not afraid to say what's on his mind and doesn't really care about the consequences, because my inner self is a good person with good morals and good ethics, and I don't really care if the truth hurts because it's the truth. So in this world, too often, we are scared to really say who we are or say what we feel or say what we think. And one of my good friends, Lemise Hindi, shout out Crown and Carrot, I asked her, I said, am I going to hell? She goes, it's a tough question. But because you're so brutally honest, like if a girl comes up to me and says, am I hot or ugly? And I think she's ugly, I'll tell her she's ugly. That's my perspective. That's an opinion. But she's like, sometimes you're too honest. And I don't know if that's good or bad. But in this world, I think it's refreshing, because too often we want to be politically correct and we tiptoe because we're scared of actually telling the truth to people and to the entire greater world. It's not something I actually admire about the world today. And although I'm not trying to change anybody or anything, I will always live my life. Thankfully, I'm blessed to be able to live my life with a certain freedom, both financially and socially. I can really do what I want, when I want, how I want. And I mean, thank God I have this beautiful podcast as a platform that allows me to have a greater reach than someone that just, says Christophe's an asshole and they can't really make that statement and have it reach a certain, level. But a guy like me, if I say something, people listen and it reaches the masses, at least a good amount of people. So I know I have a lot of pull in this world. Now, doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican, liberal, conservative, doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, straight, doesn't matter. To me or the world, it shouldn't matter, because everyone has the right to govern themselves accordingly. But in the framework of society, I would like to see the world be more positive. And what I mean by that is I spend a lot of my days and my events and my outings, in the social world, because I like what's out there for the places that I go. If I go to church, it's because I want to pray with my fellow Catholics and I want to, pray to a higher power, and I have good intentions and I just want send a higher message up there. If I go to a restaurant, it's because everyone wants to sit there, have a good meal, and have good conversation. If I go to a club, we all know what happens in the clubs. I like to go to places where I'm aligned with their mentality and their views, not specifically, but generally, right? And that's what I want to see the world become more inclusive of, is everybody's got a shtick. Everybody's got a, and I go everywhere. I go to sporting events. I go to clubs, restaurants, bars. I go to political rallies. I go to church. I go to everything. I go everywhere I can be if people invite me or otherwise. So I want to see the world become more inclusive and less diversive, because I think that is the most powerful world we could be, which is one united family. And you see the world, you look at the world today and how divided and how wars are fucking happening and people are dying right now as we speak, from Gaza, from Palestine to North Africa and Sudan, to the divisiveness in America and Canada and left wing and right wing and all this shit. This is not the world that I look back and I always say I was meant to be born in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, because those people were just trying to figure out life then. And everyone was, maybe they were hippies, but they were living the best life ever. They didn't have the social media. They didn't have the texting and the calling and all day on the phone. They just lived life. They went to work. They came home. They had their social life. That's, to me, was the best years on planet Earth. And I hope and I pray we get back as a society to some semblance of that. Because this world we live in, where if you want to wear a mask, you don't want to wear a mask, you're a good person or a bad person, or any of the other caveats in this world, whether it's political or religious or anything else. I'm all for humanity, right? And let's just be good people. And right now in the world, a lot of bad people are doing a lot of bad things, right? A to Z, across the board. And I just don't like that as a human being, right? And we're all on borrowed time here. We live 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years if we're lucky. So it's just about enjoying the time we have on this earth, because it's all borrowed time. And we just want to enjoy it with our fellow humans and be good people and have good fun. And that's my biggest kind of outlook on the world today. We need to find the happiness from within and give our internal happiness out to the world. Because if we all do that, how could this be kind of a bad world? If we're all just, I want you to do well and you want me to do well, how could anything really go wrong if that's how we really, truly, deep inside look at the world?
What's one thing you could change about the world if you could?
Yeah, I mean, kind of covered that one in my last answer, but I mean, one thing, it's tough. One thing specifically, not to be like cliche, but the innocent loss of life, like unnecessary wars or terrorist attacks. If God could have changed one thing, and I guess it's a hard thing to ask, because everyone is kind of in control of all these like natural disasters and stuff. That's Mother Nature, and that's just natural stuff. It's called natural disaster. It's natural. It happens naturally. But it's the bad stuff that we do as a race. Wish we could eradicate all that. Whether it's terrorist attacks or wars or bombs or theft or robberies or whatever the case may be. I wish us as a human race could abolish that. Because, I had a planned trip to Dubai that got, unfortunately, derailed, postponed due to a natural disaster, a flood. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Dubai as a country. You can leave your car keys on the road and come back in half an hour and they're still there. Because the government and the society and the governing body of Dubai and the Emirates are all about trust and honesty and loyalty and all that, those fine principles. And look how well they're succeeding over there in that part of the world. You can't say that about Canada, America, or probably 99% of the world, that you could leave something very valuable to you on the ground, come back, and it's still there. So if I could really abolish one thing in the world, it's us as humans making mistakes and doing making the wrong decisions that cause people to die or be hurt or anything like that. That's what I would change. I would take crime and shut it, destroy it.
Do you like living in Canada, or does another country have your heart?
Yes, because Canada is home. Toronto is home. Mississauga is home. Canada, for me, is one of the greatest countries on the world for the freedoms we have. We wake up. We don't worry about bombs flying on our head. We don't worry about, the little things in life that we take for granted. Good weather, roads to drive on, and lights that work, and power, and water. And the necessities of life. So thank you, Canada, and I do love you, and Canada is home and always will be. Now, that being said, we just found out a few days ago that when we sell a property now, we get charged 67% tax on capital gains. So if I make $1 million on a property, I only take home 300,000 profit. This is a massive flaw. And I'm not hitting at the liberals because the taxes, whether the liberals or the conservatives are in power, are all fucked up. I just think Canada is not what it used to be, both on the world scale as a nation to the rest of the world, and I think from living within. Now, I love it. I don't think I'll ever move. I mean, my brother moved to Florida and he's living the dream, and I love him. I really do. Shout out Nico. And his lifestyle is great. I mean, but Canada, Toronto specifically, I mean, we got 4 beautiful seasons. In my logo, you can see right behind me is the skyline of the city of Toronto. And it's given me so much. It's given me the best relationships I've ever had in my life. It's given me the best friendships I've ever had in my life. It's given me all the money, all the power, everything, and the ability to go spend it. The best sporting events, the best memories. So I love this city like till I die. It's home for me, and it always will be. I just would hope us as a nation can be looked at like a positive and a powerful nation to the world. And I mean, I love traveling. Traveling is in my fucking DNA. I love it. I love going everywhere in the world. I love going back home. I love going to the States. I love going to Vegas, Miami, New York. We're going to Dubai. We're going to Lebanon. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Europe. The world is such a big and beautiful place that we could travel, we'll go, come, but I don't think anything will ever replace home. And for me, Canada, Toronto, that's home, and it always will be. Love you. Love you. The 6. Shout out to 6 forever. Love you guys.
Does betting $1 million on a game phase you?
$1 Million Monday. Let's go. Let's have a little shot for that one. Yeah. $1 Million Mondays is a thing. But for anyone that knows, why I do it or when I do it, what my thought process is, it's not roll out of bed and just throw $1 million down on a game. It's a whole day or week of a thought process and research and algorithms and back and forths before you get to that point where you actually click and you got $1 million on a game. It's not gambling. It's my business. I study it. I work it. I find out the best angles to attack it at. And even though, we laugh about $1 Million Mondays wherever I am in the world and we made it a thing, I make sure that my eye is always on the prize until it's done, until work is done. I don't have a 9 to 5, but when I do $1 million in a game from the first whistle to the last, I make sure I'm locked in. I make sure that I know what I'm doing. I make sure that it's not going to negatively affect me. And contrary to popular belief, everyone thinks, I only win. I lose. I say that with full transparency. I lose, and it sucks to lose $1 million on a game. I win more than I lose. I'll say that blatantly, honestly. I win more than I lose. But as long as I follow the right process, I don't care if I lose. And it does not faze me because I put in all the work to get to that point, to make it a successful journey, a successful venture. And I don't really care if I lose because I know if I do that process and follow that process and work hard and do what I know I'm great at, I'm always going to end up on top. And thank God, so far, it's all worked out as I've planned. And I think if we keep working and keep going, we're never going to stop. And maybe this time next year, we'll be talking about $10 million Mondays. Hopefully. That's my ultimate hope. And I don't take it for granted. Not a day goes by where I don't thank God that I have this life and I built this network and I built this business and all this stuff and this knowledge and this reach. So I can only hope we continue it and we continue to grow because growth is everything.
What does faze you?
Whenever I know someone close to me or dear to me is in trouble, that really affects me. Because I live such a positive life and such a grand life. And I've, there's innately so many times in our life that are sad like a death, sickness, bad business deals, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of, you watch the news today and it's all about the bad shit that's happening really in our world. You get 10 bad stories, you get 9 bad stories for every one good story. We are built to like want to know what's wrong. Like if things keep going good, when people say, "Oh, what goes up must come down." Like for me, it's like I always want to be like this, right? And naturally, there are bad days and bad times in life, but I always want to be positive, happy, healthy, because inevitably we're all gonna die, we're all gonna get sick, we're all gonna have good and bad days. So there's enough of that stuff that doesn't need to take our energy. It doesn't need to have our energy. It's just a part of life. So for me, when someone close to me is down or sad or is going through shit, that's what really phases me. No amount of money phases me. Came from fucking nothing, built everything myself. But like you tell me, like my dad's sick, I get, that phases me. My mom, my best friend's having a tough time. His girl broke up with him, blah, 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 etc. The stuff that affects my inner circle, even my extended circle. I'm a good person, so if someone, even though they're not close to me, but they're going through some shit, let's go, let's talk it out. Let me help you. Let's figure out what's. And I like to surround myself with people like that, because those people are the most powerful people in the world. A good network is the best thing you could ever have. And unfortunately, a vast network will bring you a lot of vast kind of situations, right? So the bigger your network, the bigger your social crew, the bigger your family, the more people, the more likely bad things can happen to you or that extended group, and it could phase you. and I think I have a very positive outlook on life, and not a lot phases me. But when I know the people that I love are affected negatively, that's the one thing that phases me the most. So I try my best to live such a positive life so that I positively affect those around me. And if it's just a small little mental thing they're going through, I can help them. Or it's something bigger, I can try to help them. But I have a very good sense of when someone's not happy or someone's not doing well or someone's struggling. And I always do my best to get them out of that. But it really is the one thing that affects me, because I just want to like go out and be happy and have fun and live very positive. So it really, all that matters is our happiness, and make sure everyone around you is good and safe and healthy, and God will take care of the rest, I guess is what I could say.
Define love, and do you desire to be in love one day?
Been in love. Love is good. Love hurts though. Be careful. Love is good. Love is deep emotion. It's at 31.97 years old, birthday's on Monday, you go through a lot of love. Quick love, long love, 100% getting married soon. Another year or two, done, married, boom. Ring on the finger, let's go, kids, all that stuff. Shout out my brothers that both got married and have beautiful boys. Yeah, love is great. I mean, it's changed a bit in this 2024, this world of ours, and a lot more lust than love, I would say, and a lot more equity is put into how you look on Instagram with a filter, or how many people like your post, or what this guy did on IG or Twitter or whatever, TikTok. That's a lot more. Love has taken kind of a veer to another world, if you want to call it, due to just the harsh realities of our society. So true love, my parents just celebrated 36 years of anniversary. They're not Romeo and Juliet. Not many couples are after 36 years, but they love each other. And they've made 36 years of marriage work, and I would call that a semblance of true love. It's definitely something that we all desire, to have like actual, true, pure love. And it's hard to find nowadays, because like we think it's not available or it's not possible, and just the way we think that, other people think that. So I go up to a girl and she's beautiful and she's gorgeous, and you think in your head, A, she's got a man's, or B, she doesn't. Why doesn't she? And C, who has she had sex with? And D, what does she do for a living? And E, is her family good or not? So like back in the day, my ancestors from Lebanon take a donkey or a cow or a goat. The dad goes to the dad. Here's your fucking car. Your daughter marries my son. Bada boom, bada bing. It all works. Obviously, we're in different times, right? And now we're in super different times, because the first thing nowadays we do, and I met a beautiful girl, so okay, give me your IG, let me DM her. It's just the way our society operates now, because everyone does it, so how are you going to say you're any different? Everyone has an IG, everyone has a phone, we call, we text. Nobody calls anymore. It's all text messages, this and that. So I think true love, the art of it, sending roses to her house or taking her for a picnic, whatever the fuck. I think that's dying, if not dead. And it's not the worst thing in the world because it's changed. The whole social aspect, relationship, dating has all changed. But it's still there. The art of true love is actually still there. You gotta water it, just like a plant. You meet a girl, you like her, you spend time with her, you water it, you water the relationship, and if it grows to a point where you get married, you have kids, you live happily ever after, great. But you gotta water it. Can't just go in and fucking hope it's gonna work out and buy her with money or buy her with the shows and dances and all this shit. Really you gotta water love, and it's real, but you gotta water it and you gotta let it grow. See if it grows.
What is the life that you want for yourself, and what is the life that your parents want for you, and are they the same?
I have a lot of tough conversations with my parents because there's that baby boomer era, and they think, they're kind of I'm gonna grow up like my children 100% because I have the technology down and I understand how the world works now, and I'm gonna be able to understand them 100% because our technology will only get greater, but the core basics like the phones and the internet and everything is here to stay, and it's only gonna get better. But I'm gonna understand them until the day I die. My parents grew up in an era without cell phones, without social media, so they have a hard time grasping the world as they see it today. Now they got old knowledge. They got knowledge of what true love is, what it means to pick a girl up at her house and go ask her dad for the hand in marriage, et cetera, et cetera. They got old knowledge. So there's definitely a different perspective on life from my parents' generation to this generation that I'm growing up in. Right? Even I have cousins that are 8 to 10 years younger than me, and even them growing up in this generation, it's a bit different. I growing up until I was maybe in high school, I didn't have a cell phone. Right? Nowadays they got it in fucking kindergarten and grade 1 and shit. They're on their iPads. The world's changed, but with my parents, they when I started this thing, they didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. And they start to see the results when it comes to Zbodcast. They start to see the guests, and they start to see when they're at dinner with me yesterday how many people come up to me and tell me X amount of good things about what I'm doing or my positive outlook on life and how I'm affecting people positively. So they understand how I've navigated this life, but I think inevitably they want me to slow down and smell the roses and everything I've done and settle down, and in due time I'll do that. But there's a big disconnect. My mom still asks me to pay the bills for her. How do I do this on the app and this and that and the banking app, and my dad says come fix the TV and fix the internet. So there's that disconnect where with my kids and my generation I'll be able to handle all that, and there'll be no disconnect with us, and I'll understand everything kind of that they're going to deal with in society. But the societies and the world has changed so much from when my parents were young to when I kind of grew up. So I do my best to not fight with them over it and argue with them about how much different the world is. I just try to be a happy guy, a positive guy. I try to I spend as much time as I can with them because you only have one mother and father, and God knows when they're not going to be here anymore. So people always tell me I love how you have a great, strong relationship with your parents, and I do. They gave me everything. They gave me money. They gave me a house. They gave me all the life lessons you could ever imagine. Without them, I wouldn't be here, and that's obvious. But I spend as much time as I can, and I don't forget what they've given me, and I always love to go visit them whenever I can, even if they have a different outlook or perspective on how this world works. And they even yesterday we're at dinner and they're like, man, this is not like what I grew up in, and that's okay. But never forget your parents, never forget what they actually did to put food on the table and to raise you the right way. I thank God I was raised the right way, and I never forget that. That's why I spend as much time as I can with them. And I thank them every day for everything they did. And inevitably, like any son and parent, you go through the ups and downs and you have arguments and fights, etc. But if you actually cherish them and appreciate them and spend as much time as you possibly can with them while they're still here, when they inevitably do go, you won't regret anything. You won't have any regrets. You'll just be thankful you had the time with them. And, you can say thank you God for giving me the best parents in the world. A lot of us feel like we have the best parents in the world, and I feel the same way.
Are you happy with Zbdcast's growth, and do you see it steadily improving?
Man, if you told me a year ago we'd be here, I'd laugh at you. I'd laugh at you. Like, I know now when I post an episode or I drop a short or a TikTok or everything, I know how much reach and how much I know right away when I see it before I post it, how big it's going to affect, the web world. We create some of the best content, period. We create some of the best content, period. I have the best fucking producers. I have an amazing social media following. And like I said earlier in this episode, the way that people react to me and when they meet me, when they see me, the energy that they have, the comments that they make, it means that we're doing something really, really good. And it would be a travesty to stop this, because we've done so much to get it where it is today that I only see an escalator to the heavens in terms of Zbodcast. Like, we have some massive guests coming up now in May and June in the summer. We're going to film some of the best fucking episodes the world has ever seen. I'm going to ask the questions that not many hosts ask. I'm going to get the answers that not many hosts get. And I just love to sit here under the lights in this beautiful studio. Shout out Soda Stream for giving us this beautiful setup. It's the highlight of my weeks to sit here and to get the stories out of people that they normally wouldn't otherwise talk about. And the only thing I truly want to continue to do with the pod is inspire. And I took a little time in March and April kind of to myself. And the reason is I don't want to just film to film. That's not my style. And I understand the whole weekly release process and this and that. But for me, it's like I'm guest dependent. Everyone always asks me about the pod and what kind of pod is it. It's a lifestyle pod. It's a lifestyle pod that is guest dependent. So I want to sit across from someone that I don't have to align with them because controversy is great. But I want you to tell me the truth. Like, tell me your truth. Tell me your story. Because your story matters. It doesn't really matter to me how many followers you have or how big of a celebrity you are or star. But if you're going to sit across from me, the GOAT, him, and you're going to give me, I'm giving you the platform to make a great story, then I just need the real from you. And sometimes certain guests don't align with that kind of perspective, or they don't want to tell me the truth, or they don't want to tell me the real stories. They'll sit here and they'll fuck off. So rather than have that be an issue and me put out just black content, I'm a quality guy. Quality over quantity every single day of the week. So for me, like I was asked earlier about society and what we could do to be better humans or whatever. It's shit like that. It's people like that. And they're a dying breed, the people that tell you the truth. That's why any day of the week, I'll do an episode, or I'll have my dad do an episode, or I'll have the people that I know are the real ones come in here and shoot the shit, because they will give you a message that is the truth. Whereas a lot of people will just want to get on and sit here to make themselves better or have themselves be filmed. Or a lot of people ask me to be on. I'm like, what are you and I going to talk about? Why do I have to spend? I spend a lot of money to produce this content, to create this growth. And you gotta if you're gonna come correct, So if you look at all my guests, especially my most recent episodes, it is done with the effect of having a positive kind of message sent, and to tell the world a story about someone that they may or may not know. Most likely they do know, but they don't know the truth. And oftentimes when people, give me compliments on the pod, they say, I didn't know that about that person. I didn't know that about their story. I didn't know they grew up there. I didn't know they had this business or whatever. So that's why Zbod is more than just a show. It's, a message. And I hope we can continue to relay all the positive messages of all my beautiful guests. And let me take this time to say thank you to all my guests that take the time out of their day to come and sit with me and tell me the real. Because without you guys, it would just be a fucking fat bald guy shooting the shit. So thank you to you guys for coming, sitting, and telling your stories. Shout out all my guests.
What kind of guests do you want to attract here in the coming months?
Yeah, just like I said, I want the real. I want. Let me be specific. I want athletes. I got a lot of athletes coming through. I want motivational speakers. I want people that have a positive outlook on life and can send messages right to my viewers that are struggling or that have issues. I want celebrities, and I'm gonna get them. I want people that match my energy. I want, in the beginning when it was new, I was getting all the friends and family, my local acquaintances, and that was great to hone my kind of hosting abilities and to laugh and to this and that. But now we're at a level where the content we put out, I just fucking spat everywhere. The content that we put out is reaching people and affecting people. So I want every week or every episode to send a message, to tell a story. So if you're watching this and you got a great story that you can relate to the people, and you have a good head on your shoulders, and you want to be on Zbod, come. Because everyone that's done my episode, I've had people cry here. I've had people say shit that they weren't supposed to say. But I can pretty much guarantee that if you ask any of my hosts, any of my guests, they'll tell you that I made them look better, and they were better off after doing this podcast, this episode. So I never once throw anyone under the bus. I'll ask what I have to ask. Everyone, there's no gun to anyone's head. They can answer as they wish. They can answer, the truth, the lie, whatever. But I give them the right to kind of answer what they want to answer, and I'll ask what I want to ask. But I want this. We're now navigating into viral waters, I would say. Like we're reaching kind of the masses, and that's due to our great producing, great social media people, and everyone else. But I want to keep going in that respect. I wanna continue to have guests that transcend. When I'm gone in 50, 60, 70 years, I want people to watch these episodes and be like, oh, that guy, et cetera, et cetera. So just continue to create good content with good people.
Do you get starstruck?
No, I'm very good. Everyone knows this in my friend group. I'm very good at like if I see a celebrity walking down the street, I know exactly who it is. Like an actual big time. I know exactly right away. So I'm very good at pointing out that that's X person. But I'm not a fuck boy. Like I'm not a star fucker. Like I won't go ask for a picture. I won't fucking say, hey, I need a selfie, this and that. Never. First of all, I'm a celebrity in my own right. Let's just be honest. Okay. So, but I don't, for me, it's, let me give you this answer. Unless you're going to sit down with someone and have a conversation and exchange numbers and create a relationship, a long-term relationship with someone, what's the point of getting a picture? What's the point of going and you're at a concert and taking what's really the point if it's just a momentary glimpse? It's a cool story. It's a cool photo. Fine. For me, by acting that way or being starstruck, it doesn't really do anything for me. That's for other people. It's a moment of whatever you want, a moment in time that I met this guy. But for me, it's like, let them notice you. What you think, a lot of people think celebrities don't notice or don't care. It's not true. They're real people too. They're humans too. I'm at the Wynn in Las Vegas. I'm at the craps table. Michael Jordan walks up. Fucking Wayne Gretzky walks up. Anyone walks up. They're just a gambler. They're just a guy that is just trying to throw the dice and play craps. So why, maybe because you see them on TV or they have billions of dollars or whatever, your mind starts thinking, oh, but they're just regular people. So it's like, why get starstruck over someone? Now, I'm smart. I'm a human, but I'm smart. I'm a businessman. So if there's a relationship to be had there that could positively affect us both, kind of like Ibaka or whatever, any of athletes. I was in an all-star box in Toronto with Cuba Gooding Jr. Shout out Cuba, one of Miami, we're filming. Something along those lines where you can create a long-term, everlasting relationship with someone that has that network and has that reach and has that history and you get to meet and see the person behind the camera. That's cool. So if you can put yourself in a position to create these relationships that are everlasting, fine, do it. But don't be a star fucker. Don't ask for a selfie. Don't go up this. These people are humans too, right? They just want to live normal, right? So put yourself in a position to build your network, build your relationships, celebrity or otherwise, and then you'll see how much better your life gets.
What's your ultimate goal in the next year?
Man, we just got to keep going. Hey, listen, I get tired. Sometimes I get tired physically, mentally. I get drained. It's a lot. Being him, it's a lot between my own businesses, my personal life, my social life, Zbodcast, etc. It's a lot to always be on, and I got to be on a lot. But just to continue, God give me the energy and the strength. It's all I ask for, and to keep going. I just want to keep going as long as I can. I want to, improve my health a bit. Shout out my trainer Brian. We absolutely failed miserably on our fitness challenge, but I tell you, when I come back from Dubai, we gotta lock in here. Right? It's a lot better to move. You move a lot swifter. You look better. You feel better when you're locked in health wise. So, want to get a bit healthier in the next year. I want to make a ton of fucking money. I want to, grow this motherfucker to the moon, Zbodcast. I want to continue to have $1 Million Mondays, and I want to be healthy and happy and make sure everyone in my circle, family and friends are happy and healthy, and nothing bad, happens in the next year. And let's just keep going, man. The world's a beautiful place. We have a lot of positivity and positive things in this world. Nowadays, you pick up your phone, you can call Australia in 1 second. That's such a powerful thing to be in a world where we have all the tools, man. Just be Tim the fucking tool man Taylor. Just be the tool man. Use the tools that you have. There's no excuses for you to not be happy or successful in any respect. There's no excuses. Everybody deals with shit. Everybody's got fucking shit. Everyone's got something. There's no reason why you can't. God gave us all 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means you listen before you talk. And listen and take it all in. And use the network you have. And I got friends that came from nothing and now are here. And I got friends that were giving it all and pissed it away. Right? So use the tools you have to make the world a better place, to make you a better human. And no excuses. No fucks given, no excuses. Like, I admit to Brian, I'm like, yo, I've been living a crazy fast life and I'm traveling. And yeah, I probably have time for the gym, but I wake up sluggish sometimes because I'm hungover and blah, blah, blah. No excuses. Let's get it when we get it. I'm honest. I'm a realist. Like, so it's, be honest with yourself and let's go for it. In the next year, let's just go. Let's just keep going. Because what we're doing is working. The last year has been great. There was a lot of great growth. This next 365 days, let's keep going. Let's keep growing. Let's keep doing better things.
If you could run off a list of people who've made your life a better place in the last year, could you?
Okay, so 100%. A lot of shout-outs coming. Let's go. Shout-out time. From the top, shout out my parents. Mom and Dad, I love you guys. You guys literally are my rock. When I'm in trouble, I go to you. When I'm happy, I go to you. My parents are literally everything to me, and I hope they live long and happy lives. Not to get too emotional, but I love you guys, and thank you for everything you do. You guys are special humans, and I don't just say that, and I'm not biased because you're my parents, but everyone that meets you says that too. My grandmother that went through a little heart issue a couple months ago and got out of it scot-free. She's a rock. She's my rock. Coffee every day with her at 5 o'clock. Shout out, Teta. I love you. Keep going. 88 and going strong, and she's going to live till 100 guaranteed. She's the best. My brothers, thank you guys, Nick and Anthony, my older brothers. Thank you guys for taking the pressure off the family by getting married to 2 beautiful women and having 2 beautiful boys. And thank you as well for making me the godfather to both those boys. Someone questioned your decision, but I promise you it was the right decision. My friends like Majis and the Ramses and the Hamadis and the Wissams and the Lous and the Arashes and I'm gonna miss people and everyone's gonna get mad at me, but to all my friends in this network, in this world, in this vast world, and yeah, my following and my network has grown to the point where, like, nowadays my birthday is not my birthday with like 6 people, it's with fucking 500 people. But that's just the way the world works nowadays. You post something on social media, people come and I know I miss a lot of my friends that I love and that matter the most to me, but I promise you, my phone's always open. I'm always here to talk. I'm always here to text. I'm always here to laugh. That's the kind of guy I am. And, not to be arrogant, but between filming and my other work and my personal life and my family life and social life and everything, not that there's not a lot of time in the day for everybody, but, when you're trying to go for something great, when you're trying to go for greatness, when you're trying to to set new records in life, personally, professionally. Sometimes you don't have time to sit and dilly-dally with the people that matter the most to you. And that's just okay. That's okay. It's trust the process. It's the grind, right? So if you're one of those people that we both know we love each other and we just haven't made the time for each other, that's okay. From my end, from your end, that's okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate you, and vice versa. Because the world's energy will bring us back to where we need to be. But, I mean, shout out to everybody in this last year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, that's still around in my life, that's still here, that's still with it, that's watching me kind of grow as a person and as a podcaster and as a businessman, and seeing my growth and not jealous of it, just genuinely happy for me as a person, and happy because my happiness and my success is everyone's success. That's the kind of guy I am. I take it in and I give it out to the world as well. So thank you to everybody that's been here. And if I missed your name, fuck yourself. I'll send you a text or I'll buy you a drink. I love you all. And thank you for being on this journey with him, with Christo. It means the world to me to do it with the people that I love.
Give us your final thoughts on the state of Him's union.
Sometimes, like my parents will say, or my cousins or my aunt will be like, were you actually there with that person? Or did you actually go and do that? Or are you actually in Vegas with this guy? Or are you going to Dubai? Fucking life is like, I wake up and this is the best feeling in the world. And I really don't know what's next. Like, I'm not a big planner. Like, my favorite show of all time, Curb Your Enthusiasm, shout out Larry David, 90% of the show was improvised, right? So you have an idea, you have a concept. Like today I knew that I had to wake up, not too much sleep, because last time we went out for my birthday again, and I have to come film, and I have to get my hair cut, I have to come film, now I have to go back, do some work, go back to this. So I have a plan in my head of what the day is going to look like. But I don't really know who's going to come in, come out, who's going to call me, and I like to live such a spontaneous life. So Him's union, while it's all wherever, like fucking supposed to go to Dubai, massive flood. 75 years, they haven't seen rain like that. They saw more rain in one day than they see all year. That's why I really don't plan, because life will fucking hit you with a bag of bricks when you least expect it, and you just don't really know what's going to happen. So it's the best thing in the world, spontaneity, in the sense that you can really do anything you want because you're not locked into a plan or a person or whatever. Now, doesn't mean I don't make plans. It doesn't mean I don't have, dinners with people that I plan them, organize them. But, if one person walks out, another person walks in, that's really the state of Him's union. And that goes with business. That goes with relationships. And eventually there's a time to settle down and take it all and breathe and take it all in. Well, right now, it's nonstop. We're going for the gold. We're going for the glory. We're going to keep working, keep filming, keep betting, keep fucking investing, keep all this shit. We're going to keep going where the trajectory's up. I'm 31.97 years old. I'll be 32 on Monday. And I wouldn't change my life for anything. I wouldn't ask for more from God. I wouldn't ask for less from God. He has given me everything I need to be successful. He is the creator on earth. And whether you believe in Jesus, Muhammad, the Torah, whatever you believe in religiously or whatever you believe in politically, we're all human beings at the end of the day. We all have nose, ears, eyes, mouth. We all have, everything. So let's all treat each other with respect and love. Let's all be happy for one another. And even though we all make mistakes, let's repent and let's show people we're apologetic. And let's make this world a better place now. And let's make sure that when we leave this world, we leave it better than when we came into it. I love you all. For you guys to sit here and watch this episode of me, him, Christo, just sit and blab and babble and whatever. And, you get to see the man behind the host, the man behind the camera as a real person, as a real human. And I hope this weekend you all celebrate my birthday with me. Wasn't supposed to be here, but, Mother Nature called and Dubai is being postponed. And I'm here now in Toronto again for my birthday weekend. So I hope I can all see you guys that love me and respect me, and we can have a drink together and celebrate another year of life and happiness. God bless. I hope you enjoy. We're no longer in season realm with Zbodcast. We're going to film everything. We're going to put out episodes like it's our day job. We're going to be everywhere in different settings. I go to Dubai, I'm filming. I go to Vegas, I'm filming. And we're going to show you some great content all season. I'm supposed to have a couple co-hosts. The boys are figuring I'm too fat. One says I'm this. I'm going through shit. But I'll have my guest co-host coming back soon because I think it adds a different dynamic to Zbod in general. Producer Terry has my guy. I love you. He's all over the place. He's building panels, Empire. He's doing mine. Producer Bala and everyone else that makes this all go. Love you guys and thank you for all your hard work. Zbodcast, him birthday special, I guess you could say, just him, is now complete. Love you all. Thanks for watching.